Hey, what's up? It is Dan McDonald. This is a video that is dedicated to my hardcore fans because I'm famous. No, I'm just kidding. My hardcore viewers, the people that look to Dan McDonald every day, the artist formerly known as Life Regenerator here on YouTube for daily inspiration. I just have this, we're going to do, first of all, it's Happy Father's Day. I think men are awesome. I know that on Facebook and Instagram and in the government and the globalists, oh, testosterone, men are bad. I think men are awesome. And there are good men. You know what I'm saying? And fathers are awesome. And I am a father, and I just talked to my daughter. I said, what are you, 24 now? And she goes, no, I'm 26. And I was like, oh my God. She's like, I know I'm old. And I'm like, what the heck happened to the time? So happy Father's Day, everyone. You guys are amazing. You fathers are awesome. I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate testosterone and all of us just doing the best we can. A lot of us with the trash heap that we were handed. So, gentlemen, God bless you and your families. Today I'm going to be doing what I eat in a day, although it's not really that. It's just I'm going to go over kind of the DTM lifestyle for the hardcore viewers because I ran out of content years ago. You know what I mean? It's the same old thing over and over again because I don't want to branch out because once you get into a thing, that's what you got. Because I'm interested in a lot of different topics, but I usually save that for the Elite Video Club, which also reminds me, if you missed DTM, I'm about to take off tomorrow to go travel the world. I want to go see a few places before the world ends, so I'm going to blast off, and I don't know if I'll be making any videos over here on the YouTube and the social media and stuff. Ryan, my hero, is going to be doing the reels and stuff. That kind of keeps I can slow down. I don't have to hurry, but I am going to work through this. I've got a delivery to make. But anyways, I go into this thing because it's like, you know, you have all this information or whatever you want to cram into like 5 minutes. But then I was talking to one of my viewers this morning and they've said this a million times, like, Dan, make the videos. I play them when I'm driving to work. I play them when I'm making juice. You better be making your juice. That's what we're going to be talking about here. Juice. And so if you miss me, you can join me on the Elite Video Club because, you know, over there it's a contractual obligation to produce content. And so I won't be able to do, like, the daily show is easy. You guys know it's the lazy real guy on YouTube, you know, where I just do what I'm doing, you know, like this delivery that I'm making is just a thing, and that's what inspired it. I wanted to show all the colors of the juice. Then I was like, well, I might as well show them like what I eat. I've got some food here, and then I wanted to share some of my other like supplemental stuff and talk about nuts and seeds and a few other little things that you can use to keep yourself, you know, on point. Herbs and some, you know, minerals and things like that. So anyhow, that thing is broken. That sucks. But I need to get a real one. But this one's pretty good. It's a nice thick one. I've got the small one, which you've seen in the last video. I got the larger one, and then this is the middle of the road one that I use the most. But unfortunately, the design sucks. I really wish the lid didn't do that. But it's a lot thicker, so it does last a little bit longer. By the way, if you haven't seen it before, this is what I use for ice blocks. So if you want to take natural food, it doesn't matter if you're on live foods, juicing, smoothies, or even if you're just a carnivore. I mean, you have to have your own cooler. You have to eat your own food. You have to source and eat your own food in this world, or you're going to restaurants and you're getting poisoned. Slowly but surely. I'm not like one of these fanatical people that's against, you know, this causes this does it, that, like, you know, do I think one donut every once in a while is going to kill you? No, I'm not like, I'm not like a, you know how the girls are like, I'm getting fat, and they're like anorexic. Not like that. I'm just like, I used to be more afraid of food. But now I've realized after all these years, the hole starts here and it comes out there. But what you think is way more important than the actual poop that you're going to be pooping out tomorrow. Now, I believe in living foods because I'm trying to get the electricity, you know. But so I've got some living foods, quite a bit of living foods here, as a matter of fact, and then some raw foods. And I'm going to talk about that too. So this is for the hardcore DTM viewers, and I really appreciate all of y'all. You know, this job is not that easy. Social media has turned me into I would use another word, but it's politically incorrect. You know, it's been messing with my head for 15 years, and I had no idea till some more of this research and stuff, and then I was like, yeah, that's what happened to me. I used to be like out there, you know. I mean, I still get out, probably more than most people. I should put that phone down, but you know, the consciousness and the addictive nature of it, I scroll a lot less. You know, when you're tapped into all the Borg and everything, so it's like, you know, but it's a double-edged sword. It's like a knife. You can cut the bread and spread the butter and feed the masses, or you can go on a killing spree. Is it the knife? No, it's how you use the knife. So we all have to learn how to use technology. Now, I'm not a fan of the AI. I mean, it's going to have its purposes for sure, but my message is this. Like, I'm 50 years young. I feel pretty good. I'm still working on some karma of my family. I'm like, I decided a long time ago that I'm going to break the cycle, so I thought that meant, oh, I'm not going to hit my kids. But then what I realized is that the subtle trajectories of pain and worthless and unlovable and all that's come up in the last year. So you guys kind of see me, I'm like I'm an organic robot on the YouTube and stuff, just going through the motions, because I live in Hawaii and it's expensive here, and you know, I gotta just do what I gotta do, and everybody understands that. Well, not everybody, you think, because a lot of the influencers have other models that work better for them because they've got their whole deal. But I wanted to live the life. When you're not looking at me and I'm not making these videos, I want to live it. I want to go to bed on time. I want to read. I had a book here. I must have moved it. Oh, it's over there, because that's I'm going to share with you a book and tell you about that aspect of the diet, feeding your mind, what I like to feed my mind with. But that'll come later in the video. We'll probably be here for about a half an hour or something like that. But I'm enjoying this video and connecting with people, because I do have a lot of hardcore people, and they're cool, man. And we resonate where we resonate. I'm more like at the end of the day, this is just a character, and I give everything over to God, and I have no thoughts at all. And I'm like, what do you eat? You know, and I'm like, oh, cool. I don't care at all. And am I gonna stand here and go, this causes a this? No, because I already went through that phase, and this does not cause of that. But that's what a lot of the people think. That's what the carnivores think about certain things. That's what the vegans think, but it's not true. It starts here and it ends here and it comes out into the toilet, and whatever you believe, you better follow that. That being said, I just do my level best because I want to extract the electrical life force. I was with this guy, he saw me in a tree from Australia, he stopped, and even the regular Joe Blow, he understood what I was talking about when I said, you see these roots and these branches, and how, like, because she was saying, oh, this one's more fizzy. And I said, yeah, that's the electricity, the life force. And I said that usually lasts about 24 to 48 hours when you pick a coconut. I got these bombers, dude. Right before I go on my vacation, I would thank God I went to the right tree. Because you never know, but these are like champagne, you know, life bombs full of minerals and water. So I do believe in chemistry and physics and the laws of nature. But I'm just saying, if one person eats one thing that isn't perfect or whatever, and look at everybody with their diversity. You know, maybe the smartest one is like an omnivore that's like, just understands already that you're born and then you'll die, and then you just chill, you know. Anyways, I'm pretty much hardcore live foodie, because after you've had all the experiences that I've had with the fasting and everything else. And I'm just like, the fruit really resonates with me, and the juices more than anything. I never had a bad juice in my life. I've made about 97% of the juices that I've drank, I make. You know, I'll go to the juice bar, but it's, you know, after you've had the DTM, like, I'm taking, because I was like, if I had a niche, I would pick juice, and you'll see why in a minute. I'm rambling on because I'm loving it. Maybe it's an hour-long video and I'll collect the Google AdSense, because like I said, I thought Google money was like $3 on the dollar. Google money is getting that's like $10 for every dollar. I love you, Google. I think you're amazing. Please continue to control the narrative so that we don't get out of control with thinking for ourselves. Now, you gotta love YouTube and stuff. There's other alternative sites, but this is where I got. You try to teach this old dog new tricks, forget about it. I like my life. I go to bed, I work, exercise, I meditate, word. I got a great life. I'll let these other kids spend all day behind a computer trying to figure this whole thing out. 11:11, can you dig it? So let's get started on the juice. But I was gonna say, I am the juice master. You know Jason Vale, but he's like, here's a little bit of juice every once in a while, and then all the rest of the stuff. But I'm like, yo, I live off this stuff, dude. And I've been juicing like almost every day for 30 years, aside from the times that I was homeless or whenever I'm like traveling. But I still find juices. I have a cooler. On my travels, I will get my little car for some of the journey, and I will have the cooler, and it will be when I go out to visit the hot springs, because I'm doing the hot springs tour. I do the hot springs tour at least once a year. Sometimes I do it twice a year. I got the hot springs tour. I take people on it, but I charge like $1,000 a day. But by the end of it, I don't make that much money because all the motel rooms and stuff and all the food. But anyways, you have the time of your life, and basically you pay me to take your ass on the hot springs, because you got to see me naked and I'm going to see you naked. So that's going to be how you have to do it, unless you want to wear a bathing suit. But that's the hot springs tour. That's one of my claims to fame, if I ever want to leave the comfort of my paradise island, which I'm doing. But this will be a solo journey so far, I think, unless someone jumps on board. But anyways, I take the ice and I go out to the hot springs, and I got juice for 3 days. That's how long the juices last, 72 hours. But I'll tell you what, some of them can last up to a week, and you always use the citrus to preserve. I have one lemon. That was one of the part of the deal that I was going to share with everybody. I got one. That's a real lemon. That's a Meyer lemon, and they should be orange when that's starting to sweeten up. They're sour and sweet. Most of the citrus everyone gets is picked way too early and not tree ripened, which is true for most of the foods. I got some good stuff in here that's truly tree ripened, and that's the difference between your teeth falling out and not. When they're sour, you lose all your minerals, because the minerals are explode, and the enzymes in the last week or few days before it's ready to fall right into your hand off the tree. And the stem knows what to do, because the divine is very conscious. So now I'm just ripping and rapping, but I take the juice on the tour. I got the cooler in the car, fill it with ice, fill it all the way up, and go like whatever. If I gotta go to, even if I gotta go to Whole Foods and get just a bunch of orange juice, and I just live off orange juice at the hot springs or whatever. Can you dig it? So what I got today, I'm doing a juice delivery, and I'm gonna tell you, this is my little juice delivery. There was 8 jars, but she said only make 6 because by the 3rd day they're not as fresh, which is true. But like I say to my people when I educate, up to 72 hours, because you do the batch juicing, and you want to you just get it done, and then you put it up in there. Then it's nice and cold too. That's another thing that I like. So I like it right off the juicer. What I do is I take the ice cold coconut water. Then I've got kind of like the room temperature juice that I just juiced, and I'll use the ice cold coconut water, pour that in, then it's cooled off. Then I have the explosion of life force, which when you break open the cell walls out of the fresh fruits and veg, the oxygen, the hydrogen, the minerals, the life force, and the water is much more permeable because it's lighter. It gets a little heavier after it sits. You know, so it's ideal to juice and drink right away. That's just more of the oxygen and stuff. Later on, you still get the living water, and it's cooler, and you get the minerals and stuff, but it loses oscillation after a few days. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's even been a few times where I've had, I wonder if this juice is still good. I just didn't get to it. It's like a week old, I remember. I made this last Thursday, you know, some pineapple drink, but I always use the preservatives. So that way everything, because if you don't use the lemon or lime or orange or grapefruit to a lesser extent, but basically when you're juicing, you're talking about lemons and limes. To preserve everything, it makes it last 2 or 3 extra days longer and keeps it fresher and protects everything because it's citric acid. So what I have today is, this is sugar cane. And so it's half coconut, half sugar cane, and then lime. This is a lemon, but I put lime in this one. And there's 2 of those for this batch. Can you dig it? And sugarcane is basically like a very mineral-rich grass. So it's like you're just drinking sugar water, but it's like actually mineral water with an anti-gravitational delivery mechanism. So the lighter water's in the fruits and the veg, and then when we go to drink like the regular water in the plastic and the glass jars, it's like dead, just chilling on a shelf for God knows how long. So that's why I like to get a lot of my liquids, most of my liquids, from the fruits and the veg, and I juice a lot. You know, it's about almost 11 o'clock and I haven't had anything yet, but I try to, you know, have 1, 2, maybe 3 juices, and then I'll have some kind of sensible meal. A lot of meals are fruit and some of them are veg, you know, and it just depends on how I feel. So sugarcane off the charts. This is cucumber with just, again, a little bit of lime. Okay, this is very special. This is mango juice. Oh yeah, coconut water with 2 blended mangoes in it. And these, my young Padawans, are the highest vibration, man. I had some mangoes last night, and man, they are popping. They are fresh. And so I got a whole little thing here of some mangoes. So mangoes are where it is. You take the coconut water, you blend it, and then you strain it, and then you have mango juice. And you can use the coconut water from Costco, you know what I'm saying? Here is this is the bad boy Billy of freshness. Try to make that look more presentable for my client, who's really a cool lady. She likes to order 2 or 3 times a week, so she's my number one, you know. And she's like a side job, you know. That's one of the jobs added onto Joe Biden's I made all these jobs after COVID list, you know what I'm saying? Oh, don't get the politics involved. Yeah. One of the jobs, my other job didn't work, I got to get another job, and I also got to do landscaping and stuff. No, I love working and stuff, but I'd rather be full-time on the social media, but the Google is going down. They ain't trying to have these influencers anymore, especially dudes like me. Like, oh, you got testosterone? Check. You know, you're a man? Check. You're white? Check. Oh, you're a domestic terrorist? Check. Oh, common sense? Check. And you keep getting all these checks on your social credit score. So that it contributes to the AI regulation of your algorithms, you know? So if you're like totally into the whole narrative and you're like, oh, the bird flu, be afraid, it's like you'll go up. And they'll be like, oh my God, I love communism, it's amazing, you know? And all this other stuff with rainbows and weird stuff like that, you go up. So if you're with the narrative of the falsehood, you go up. And so remember, everything you do, every time you like something, every comment you make, every video you watch is tracked, and it is, you know, evaluated by an AI mega computer, and then it's, you know, they're creating artificial intelligence, you know, social credit score system. That's why I'm trying to get off grid here as soon as possible, and we're going to open up a center for unplugged retreats where people can go back, take off their clothes if they want to. I'm just a big fan of sun on the buns, you know. It's not like I'm a pervert, like show me your tits, you know. It's more like the sun is good for you, even though after all these years, the sun is bad. Cover yourself with toxic sunscreen and get cancer. It's amazing. You know, sun is not bad. The sun is dope, dude. The sun is life. That's why the food of life is so alive, because it's this concentrated sunlight. That's what mangoes are. Mangoes are concentrated sunlight. You know what I'm saying? And the oscillation in the in the coconut water is the sun electricity that goes onto the branches. You see what I'm saying? The water comes up to the filtration system. Anti-gravitational sunlight charged water. Okay, that's why I like what I do over here, even though it's like, okay, what you got? I pay my rent, I pay my bills, bam, done. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go somewhere where you could take that money and stretch it out further? Probably because I'll be going to the grocery store and have to get like ho-hos and ding-dongs and all that crap. Just kidding, but I'll be like, oh, these foods are swag. So I like living in Hawaii because, you know, the food is real. I like it. I can go up to this tree and I can go eat lychees until I'm stoned and drunk on lychees, you know? And I can go climb a coconut tree every day. And that's the reason why my heart just stays here. So my heart is the living food. Although I've never been able to really get it perfect, whatever that means, I still continue to thrive and strive, because God knows that it's an infinite potential within all of us to be the radiance, but then the karma. So you can't be too hard on yourself, because if you're going for the top, you're gonna have to burn through all the shit of your family, which is like all the stuff that got passed on from your mom and dad. So I'm focused, and when I get back from this journey, which is kind of like a hello and also a goodbye, it's 100% devoted to this path, which could eviscerate me into nothing, but I'm gonna 100% commit to it, because nothing else really matters. I appreciate this. We've been doing it for 15 years. This is a great job. It's more than that. I try to kind of play like I'm a drama queen. It's just a job. I'm stocking shelves, but there's more to it than this. Just because eating wholesome food is a great thing. But now for me to, like, you know, nickety-knackety everyone to death about this causes of this and this causes of that, it's not really true. But it's a niche market thing, which I can't do. If I could be a niche marketer, it's easier to make money that way, because then you get people into your little cult, really. And I don't know, this isn't a cult, I don't think. I just like living foods, you know what I'm saying? That's where I feel like when I do that, or if I go off the rails, I'm like, oh, not so much, do you lower the vibe? But it doesn't mean that lowering your vibe for a minute is a bad thing with your family or whatever, or you're in some strange place. You know, there was one time I was like trapped in an airport for like 36 hours, hadn't slept, in Osaka, Japan, on my way back from Thailand, and there was nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was at this Japanese restaurant eating these little salads, but they're like $18 for this little thing. I'm on my third or fourth one of this cucumber salad thing, and it's like, this is $100 already. I'm starving. I went to this all-you-can-eat thing, and they had this all-you-can-eat potatoes, and I just sat there, and I was just stressed out, hadn't slept, 36 hours trapped in an airport, ate all these potatoes, and then just went over on a bench and slept, you know, and then got on my flight, and then got back to where the food was real. See what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, do I regret that? No, because those potatoes, I mean, potatoes are a sedative, you know? So is that a bad thing? It just depends. So it's always the context. My mind is blown. Like, there is no mind, because of the dudes that are the spiritual ones, that are the teachers, that is the real food, which telling me, and then the contemplation and the meditation, or the silent prayer, if you will, however you want to call it, which I think is a great way to say it, because people like meditation. I remember Marcus Rothkrantz, who I love, I respect very much, but I remember him saying on a post or something, meditation's a waste of time, which, I mean, you know, if you want to see it that way, but for me, what's weird about that is that meditation is the only thing that I do that feels like it's actually productive. Isn't that a strange thing? Like, you mean just sitting there, you know, staring at the workings of the mind, seeking the source, you know, so that you can connect with the absolute undifferentiated supreme source and dissolve into that, so that the dualities are then just released and eviscerated into nothing. So then the pressure of the, it better land on heads, it better land on heads, it better land on heads, because half the time it lands on tails. If you have a good life, you'll get like 60%, 40%. If you have a hard, mine is more like 60 on the harder side and 40 on the positive, but that's God's little thing of pushing you up and forcing you into learning how to rely on the higher consciousness instead of, well, I got money, so, or I got a nice ass and I'm a young woman, so I don't have to develop myself. I don't have to look for answers. Or I'm a like a 67-year-old dude, I got money. I can just go get a 35-year-old girlfriend with my money, and I don't have to grow and evolve and adapt and find real true love and nurturing from the highest levels of consciousness through evolution, where you can actually really truly love a woman, and that woman can truly love and serve you, because that would be the greatest thing that you could ever find as far as like that human part of it. I mean, at least maybe that's a projection on me, but if you have someone that cares for you and you care for them equally, and you can keep riding, you know, that is big pimping, you know what I'm saying? So that was a hell of a tangent, wasn't it? Go back to the juice, man. You thought I forgot, but I'm a genius like Donald Trump. Remember, he always talking about, and then he goes all the way through the whole thing and says, you thought I went on a tangent and forgot. And then he goes back to the original story about Mexico or something like that. But anyways, I think that's funny, and I know people, they're like, I know what side you fall on. I'm unsubscribing or whatever. I'm like, cool, man, do what you got to do. Most of my smart friends, they don't get involved in politics, but everyone I talk to that I know and love, they are most certainly leaning one way, you know, and not the other. Can you dig it? So that's how I kind of base my thing, and I like what I like. I love America, bro, and I am a patriot. I'll dig my heels in, you know what I'm saying? And I will fight to the death for my freedom, because I do not want to be living in no communist third world shithole. Can you dig it? Because I like the fruits and the vegetables. I don't want these dudes, because right now the vegans are like, oh, the bird flu is taking away the chickens and taking away the cows, so that's wonderful. Well, but then next time they're coming for your fruit, and you know what I'm saying, you will have pag, which is like human remains, like homogenized and created into meat burgers. That'll be for the poor people. And then the other people, they'll be having the cricket burgers and stuff. And so people will prefer the cricket burgers over the pag if these globalists have their way. And you'll be living in a 15 by 15 cubicle, and you'll be getting your daily or weekly shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, yo, I want freedom. I want to have options. I want to lift all these regulations so people can do what they want to do. That creates an economy. But really, there's the people that want to push you down so they can stay in control because they're fear, and that's a level of consciousness. And then there's other people that are like, yo, we want to blow the lid off this thing and let the human beings flourish. And it's hard to find that, especially with governments. They want to suppress and push you down. It's lame, dude. I'm getting off track. You better do what I say. This is carrot, apple, beet, ginger, cucumber, and lemon. Oh my God, this is the beauty juice, the heal all detox juice. It's both, because the carrots and the beets and the ginger make you beautiful with the colors, and all the colors of the juices and stuff, all the colors of the fruits and the veg. But that's the beauty juice and the heal all detox juice. Well, there's, you know, celery and a couple other things. There's different variations you can make of this one. I love it. Can you dig it? Finally, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. This is papaya banana juice in coconut water. Just coconut water, one banana, and then a small papaya blended and strained, and then bam, banana papaya juice. Can you dig it, baby? I know that you can. And then finally, so then I take that, and just to make sure it don't get knocked around, I'll take the towel. Well, what I do is with this here, as a matter of fact, I'll show you. Well, I can't really show you, but these are the ice pack things, and I put those in there to keep from breakage. Then I go across here and shimmy that into there to keep no breakage. And then I use this towel to, you know, keep from less breakage. Then I lay this, boom, and that is her order of 6 juices. Now for me, I'm going out for the day. I'm trying to go for a bike ride and a hike, and I'm going to get a massage at the beach, naked, with my friend, who I know is watching this video right now because she's a hardcore, and she watches from the beginning to the end. So I'm going to go get my booty rubbed at the nudie beach. Can you dig it? And the only thing we got to watch out for is the gay guys checking me out. Can you dig it, baby? Okay, I ain't afraid of no gay guys. And this is mine, and this is my cucumber juice. So see, when I make for my people, I put the metal lids because I don't want to lose my plastic lids. Can you dig it? So I know which ones are mine. Then I got the ultra concentrated, undiluted sugar cane, and I have my own mango lassi. And then I got, this is something that I think is very important for people to understand, and I'll be talking about that today. I got my ginger and my lemon, but this is honey, lemon, and ginger water, and that'll help me to segue over into this next half of the video here. It's going to be an hour, it looks like. But this is honey, lemon, ginger, and then my distilled water, which is here, Mega Home Water Distiller. And then you've got fresh water. It's flat, but it's pure. And all the junk is down here in the bottom because it boils up, evaporates, and it's like rainwater, okay? And then I have some coconut water here that's ice cold. And then if I need an emergency booster and have my little snack throughout the day, would be like to crack a coconut or two, cut the meat out, and then eat the meat for a snack at the river. If I go down to the river, which I do every single day, I drive to the river to baptize myself in the name of unconditional love. That's why I'm so awesome. But it resets all the radiation, the fresh water. It resets the emotional state. The cold water, helps to keep you thin, and it's good for the nervous system. It forces all the blood. So you're out running around, exercising, getting dirty up in coconut trees. Had a centipede jump out at me yesterday. Ooh, because that'll be, if the one thing, because when the rats jump across your face, you're like, cool. It's like, whoa, okay, you get a little surprise. But when the centipede drops down, lands on your climbing equipment, is crawling around your climbing equipment, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But I was strapped in yesterday, thank God, because you'd be okay, but the centipedes throw me off, okay? I don't like those motherfuckers. They are strange looking, man. How many times you gotta have 100 legs? That's some crazy shit. There's one right over there, he's dead, dried up in the sun. But I ain't trying to have no 100 leg. I got bit one time, it took 2 weeks to heal. But I got the distiller here, that's the Mega Home, Megahome. I like distilled water. Then I bring it back to life with some honey and some lemon. I've got the minerals in here, I'll share that with you. And then this is just what I've got, is I could use a little sippy sip right now. Oh, praise the Lord. And so a couple of supplements here. The Life Biotic, which I use to culturize the coconut, macadamia nut, coconut Brazil nut, coconut almond, coconut walnut. You make some yogurts, coconut pine nut, and when you take the Life Biotic, it starts to pre-digest everything so that when you eat the nuts and seeds, and it absorbs and utilizes almost as easily as fruit. So when you soak, activate, and then you blend and culturize, you're making the nuts and seeds, which because the people I see some of the fruitarian teachers, as they get older, they're getting really high estrogen. They can't see it, they don't know about it, I can see it. They do good work, I'm not putting anybody down, but I'm just saying that I see that some of the fruitarian teachers over the long term, when you're young and stuff and you got your hormones, but as you get into your 50s and 60s, if you ain't bringing in some of these more androgen, testosterone building foods for your reproductive organs and stuff, you'll begin to get like the moobs and the chubs and the kind of like, oh yeah, go fruitarian, oh yeah. I love fruit. It's my main source of food. Well, coconuts are my main source, but I'm trying to get some of the nuts and seeds, sesame seeds and things like that. But I have found that 100% what Lou said, it took me years to understand that But the culturization is genius. And people, you know, I can understand, they're like, oh, all you do is sell shit, you know, and it's like, okay, I get it, you're cool. But it really is a true thing. And I've learned from great masters, and I apply all their stuff. I got Dr. Morse's stuff in here too. So I use Dr. Morse's consciousness, I use Tavis, I use Lou Corona, and I use also Arnold Ehret and Hilton Hotima, and everyone was at different levels, but the stratosphere is up to the top of the mountain. And then you leave the food trip behind, and then you go for the final thing, which is the mind. You know, you transcend the mind. You're like, oh, it's totally delusional, and the whole thing's an illusion. And then you just get into the habit of creating the neurons that are associated with the awareness that you are an infinite source being. And then you realize, oh, everyone else is that too. Then you don't have to go onto Facebook and tell everybody what a bunch of losers they are, which is the one thing I see a lot of the women do. I eat fruits and vegetables, I'm raw, I'm so high vibrational, but really what that is, I'm better than these other losers. And none of that's true, because a true sage, you know, is like a tree. And anyone, animal, human, can come and sit under the shade of the sage, because the sage knows that all is one. You know what I'm saying? Unity consciousness. And the people on Facebook that are like, these people are losers for eating this way, they're on a lower vibration, none of these men are good enough for me, my vagina doesn't stink. And I'm sure, I'd see it less with dudes, but I'm sure they're out there too. But I just don't think that that's the right way to go. And that's my little 2 cents. I'm not putting them down either, but nobody's really better than anybody else. But maybe if I had the perfect life and always did everything perfect and everything was always going my way, I could be like, listen to me, you low-level losers. I am the one that's the highest vibration. But that's just not my style in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. And so it's just an equal unity of all things. I guess that's kind of why I'm glad I've had a hard life, because I'm no better than the guy on the street drinking. I don't know what his story is. Maybe one day he was an enlightened sage, and then once something happened, and now he's a drunk on the street. And one day he'll be back off the street, and he'll be a CEO of a corporation. Life has its way of doing what it does, and nobody knows the great mind of the absolute God consciousness, you know. So you got to ride that ride, and you want to be free from judgment, because you don't know. You don't even know about your own life. You just have to be awake and aware and watch. And it's just pure awareness in this moment now. So ascension is really descension into the now. Like, I guess the whole book of the Eckhart Tolle thing. Not necessarily the power of now, but the reality of now, is that now is all there really ever is. And that's the ascension process, is descending instead of trying to escape. That's what the people do. And we don't want to escape the pain or the vicissitudes. We want to be able to bear them with equanimity. And so a lot of us, we run around and stuff. That's not really why I'm in paradise. I just choose it and prefer it. And also, who knows, I think that the God put me here, you know. So I will stop rambling about that. But I'm just like, yo, man, love is the key. Nobody's better than anybody else. You know, there are better ideas, politically, than other ideas that work more well for the people. But the pendulum is always swinging, and there's always going to be the lower trying to pull down the higher, and then every once in a while the higher gets in and pushes up and opens up the opportunity for humanity. But right now the governments are kind of gross, because they're all bought off by the trillion-dollar investment firms, and the front men like the Bill Gates and the George Soros and the Klaus Schwabs and the Anthony Fauci's of the world, those are just front men. They're low-level puppets for the real people behind the scenes that have been going on for centuries, controlling everything, the dollar and everything. So when President Kennedy got shot, he's like, yo, we're gonna get rid of these scumbags, and then bam, a week later he's dead. You know what I'm saying? They're just not, they don't want to lose control and the grip, and that's what's happening right now. And a lot of people are kind of going with it, the ones that change their Facebook profile, Ukraine is amazing, and all the other psyops. and they're not aware of what's actually going on. They don't understand globalism. They don't understand the underlords always trying to pull humanity down and poison us from every angle with these, you know, it's like a war on humanity. You know, I don't know, it's quiet weapons for silent wars, or silent weapons for quiet wars, or whatever the hell the title is. Someone can remind me down below. But you know, it's just like, oh, this little thing, and you put that in there, and then here's some delicious food, and it's like got so much chemicals in it, and the glyphosate, and then like you go over to like oatmeal in Europe is like oatmeal, and then oatmeal in America is like a list of 500 things, and you're like, I wonder why we're all so gay, you know, because the whole chemical thing is going on, and why everyone's like got the man boobs and the fat. And the dudes are just fat because there's so much estrogen and stuff, and they're not able to stay balanced with the natural food. That's why I like to have the natural food. Then I have all my little tricks and stuff, and one of them here is the bee pollen, which is the highest enzyme food, which it's all about the enzymes, you know what I'm saying? The enzymes in the food, and then the enzyme supplementation too, if you want to last long, because usually your enzymes start diminishing by the time you hit like between 28 and 35, depending on how you live your life. It starts to diminish. So now we've got, so I'm going to deliver that here in a minute. Now what we've got is just, like I said, I've got some honey, and I've got oranges. So these are like what I eat in a day. You know, avocados. I got 6 avocados, 12 oranges. Looks like I got about like 6 of these mangoes. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? That is amazing stuff, dude. The smell of it is pure nectar divine. And so the mangoes, high enzyme food, avocados, high enzyme food, and the papayas, high enzyme food. I don't have a pineapple today. I've got some kale here, just a little bag of kale. I wanted to bring in, you know, use the greens when you can. People are, kale's bad for you. It's like, I've never had a problem with kale. I like to juice it and eat it. I ate some last night. But I like to drink the greens, and I like lettuce, and I like to balance out a lot of fresh herbs. I like to use fresh herbs. Coconut's my main source of food, probably half my diet. And then another large portion of it is fruit. And I like the fatty fruits, and I love avocados, and then bananas, of course, and these are like perfect bananas, believe it or not, with all the brown stuff. I mean, they're absolutely perfect, just the way they are. The bananas are a high enzyme food, and so I love the high enzyme food because, especially for free people on the mainland too, because you can get those foods and they're still ripening because the enzymes in there are ripening up. Avocados, enzyme-rich food. These have their highest enzymes foods like oranges and lemons and cherries and berries. They have their highest enzyme freshly picked. But some of the other foods that are cool with the avocados, those are still ripening up. So their Curlian radiomagnetics are still emanating off of there because it's in a process of enzyme, you know, activity. Whereas it goes here, then it falls on the ground, and then so the stem lets go because it knows it's ripe. So it falls onto the ground in nature, and then then it ripens up over the course of 2-3 days or a week, depending on the type of avocado or the type of mango or the type of the papayas kind of ripen up there, and then yeah, there's a whole tree over there, and they're starting to ripen up. Now you can pick those now, or you can just wait. But if you wait too long with the bananas, when they start to go yellow, the birds see it and they'll tear you up. So as soon as you see the yellow, you got to climb that tree, cut that banana bundle down, and those will all ripen up perfectly. If you cut it too soon, the sugars won't ripen, the minerals won't ripen. So that's just some delicious foods. I showed you the honey, the lemon, the avocado. So that's just that's just what I got like hanging around right now. Okay. Another source of food is what you put into your mind. This is Bliss Divine. Anything from Swami Sivananda. I have a large influence from the Hindu tradition, and I know that people, what they say, and I really don't care what Christians have to say. I'll say it like this, I don't give a flying fuck about religion, okay? Well, obviously not. Click, unsubscribe later. I don't care about religion. I only love God, and I love the truth. And there's nobody has, nobody. You can't, it's not even in a book. It's in your heart. It is what you are. It's your core essence. You already have it. You already are it. Religion, spirituality, it's all about relinquishing doubt forever. That's all it is. And then you're like, oh, I already am that. One day you'll realize, oh, I already was that the whole time. I already was a divine being. I already was a magnificent soul already upon the earth, inhabiting this meat sack, which is a temporary meat sack. And the meat sack needs care. The more you care for it, the more you connect with the divine, and the more you emanate the clarity, the better of a channel that you are. And everyone's going to be operating at a different frequency, and that's how we describe the different diets and stuff like that. But the Hindu religion, which is what you call it, which is just, it's not even Hindu, it's just Ramana Maharshi died one day, and he let himself die, and then he said, oh, and then he died, and he realized, and then he stood up, and he didn't die, but he let himself die, and then he just walked to Tiruvamalu, or however you say that, to the mountain, and he just sat there for years and just meditated, and then the people would come around. So, you know, he did read the Bible, and he also read all the other spiritual books, because believe it or not, what's crazy about Ramana Maharshi is that he actually went to a Christian school. So a Hindu went to a Christian school, of course, so the Christians will say, well, that's how he got enlightened. But then Ramakrishna said the same thing. What was cool about Ramakrishna was he did every religion, and he said, hear ye, after however many years, 20 years of doing that, he's like, listen, every religion works if you are truly devoted to it. So then you realize it's just about love. It's just about devotion to God. Any path will work. And any one tenet, if you master one thing, you will find it. And we already are that. So nobody's better than anyone else. We don't need the food police. We don't need the politics police. We don't need any of that. We only need to simply just love, because what's happening outside of you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So when you're like, the world is all screwed up, it's like, oh, hey, I got some advice. Go look in the mirror and fix the world. And you're like, God dang it, Dan McDonald, you're an asshole. You know, why? Because I just told you the truth. And most people don't like the truth. I'm swearing a lot in this video. Anyways, I'm a foul mouth. And it's like, listen to me, look at this. I'm 50 years old, I wear a wife beater. You're like, were you born in a trailer park? I wasn't born in a trailer park. I was born in a hospital, but I was raised in a trailer park, man. And I'll tell you what, I'll shotgun more beers than you. Yeah, boy, because I'm a country boy. Well, I was a city boy, then I was a country boy, then I was a city boy again. And now I'm a little paradise boy, a little God lover, like a whole story, you know what I'm saying? Like the story of the me. But I'm still wearing wife beaters, man, because you can take the boy out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out of the boy. So you're gonna hear some cursing, because I am mad as hell. It's the world's fault. No, I'm just cleaning this thing up. That's all I care about, dude, is love, acceptance, understanding, patience, loving myself. Can you dig it? Okay, finally, last but not least, whatever, this is just what I got in the house, and I was like, I gotta have these little props to keep rolling along, otherwise it's like, hi, it's Dan McDonald, I really have nothing to say. Have a nice day. But if I have all these little toys and props and all this crap, hemp seeds, man, make some yogurt, sprinkle those on some lettuce. You can just take hemp seeds and just dip your little lettuce in there. You sprinkle them over lettuce and lime, and it's delicious. So you take romaine lettuce, sprinkle the hemp hearts, or you squeeze the lime over the top first, and then you sprinkle the hemp hearts, and they stick to the lettuce, and then you have these delicious. But it's really good to learn to make the yogurts with the probiotics, because then it pre-culturizes it, blends it, and you get more absorption and utilization. Can you dig it? These are the enzymes, dude. These have the catalase, which is to keep your hair from going gray. This has the amylase, which digests the carbohydrates. This has the protease, which digests all the proteins and acts as an anti-inflammatory and helps get rid of all the protein plaquing, which everyone has unless you had the perfect fruitarian childhood. And then, you know, it's got the lactase in case you eat dairy or whatever. And so these enzymes are really good, especially if you're going to eat cooked food. You take 10 before, 10 after. There's 1,000 capsules. It's 150 bucks. It's very affordable, you know, so it helps you with the cooked food, and it'll help to digest, and it's good to take on an empty stomach or with juice. I take the enzymes with every juice. It's just a habit of mine. Like, I'm trying to stay on top of my game, baby. I have some Clarity from the pharmacy, and I also have, what else? I got the Women's Wellness also from the pharmacy as well. So all the links are down below for all this stuff if you want to go check it out. That's just some herbs that you can make. And this time of year when it's hot, you make sun tea, meaning you put it in a glass jar and you sit it in the sun and you make a sun tea, which is more raw. You take your distilled water, you add whatever. I make mine really strong, like ridiculously strong, you know. And I put it in the sun, and then I let it sit in the moon, and then you have the sun and the moon, and that balances it out and restructures the distilled water and adds the consciousness of the high vibration of the Kauai pharmacy, which I highly recommend. If you haven't checked that out, you got to. Those are my friends Doug and Jenna, and they have some amazing herbs, and it's just like medicine. They've also got some foods that you can sprinkle on, where you can get more of that Kauai vibe, dankety soil, because the food in this world sucks. So I like Dulse. I think that's my iodine supplement. Can you dig it? Just throw that on a salad, a little bit of seaweed. So I'll go over the core 4 here. I got Dr. Morse's stuff too, but this is the protein. I like amino acids. I feel like it balances my brain out. After long term, you know, we can argue about all kinds of stuff, but I like the amino acids, and all 22 amino acids and all 9 essential amino acids right here in this. So 1 or 2 scoops and you're just like zing zong zen, you know what I'm saying? Because all your hormones and stuff are made out of proteins, and you're always trying to pull them from here, pull them from there. And, you know, if you get them all in one, you know, thing, you're in good shape. This is the vitamin E, antioxidants, also more amino acids and lots of good carbs. I'm taking this with me because I want to be able to have that. That's going to be when I'm out hiking on the trail. I'm going to be able to have, I just take this, and then I'll take some creek water, and I just stir it up in a little jar. I'll have a jar with me, and I'll just mix some of this and some of this, the Life Essentials and the Paradigm Natural, and I know I'm getting pure food source, because everything from Paradigm is absolutely pure. And then I go over the core 4 with everyone. The cleanse. That's an herbal colon cleanse everybody needs, especially before you start a water fast, or if you're just trying to lose some weight or get your colon clean out, you use the cleanse. This is for the anti-parasites, the herbal blood, the candida, the pyrozyme breaks up the biofilms, is anti-inflammatory, and it breaks up all the protein plaques in the body, can help the fascia to loosen up for all the stiffness, the arthritis, and all of the scar tissue, and all the bloating, and all the fat, undigested crap that's just sitting on there because of the plastic fats, the plastic and high cooked proteins. Raw proteins I like the best, raw amino acids, you know. And the thing, when the heat changes it, it sticks more. Whereas with the fresh raw, you absorb what you want and just get rid of the rest. But when you high heat, you coagulate these different fats, they build up in the body. And these pyrozyme can help with the tumors and things like that. I don't want to make too many claims. I got to be careful about that. But anything, if you've got any kind of anything going on, chubby, if you're moobs, man boobs, you know, whatever, tumors and things like that, you want to use the pyrozyme. And that's, so the core 4 is the cleanse. You can't see it. Maybe you can from there. No. The core 4 is the cleanse first, then second juice is the herbal blood and the pyrozyme, and then finally you take some Pure Life before you go to bed, and you brush your teeth with it, and then that's the core 4. That's the basic protocol. I have some MSM, but it's in the kitchen. Don't want to. Just the core 4 is really, you know, keeps you just tight. It just keeps everything clean and tight. This is the Lifezyme powder, and this is just more for your money. And if you have, you can put this in like your lemon ginger blast. Lou puts the Lifezyme in every one of his lemon ginger blasts. Any juice, I could do that right now. I probably should, but I'm gonna close this up in about 5 minutes for the 1 hour. Then I'm late for this delivery. Finally, I got wanted to share the electrolytes, just some mineral drops for your water. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure you've always got conductivity. Fresh juice, fresh food, you're gonna have those living minerals because you plug in the diodes and the light lights up. But if you don't have the minerals, you don't have the lighting, you don't have the conductivity, you don't have the ability for the body to emanate light and emanate life. So you wanna have high mineral, high hydration. That's why I like juice. I know I'm a thin guy. Some people don't like that, but as you get older and you still have that pep in your step, because when you're younger, the more heavier protein foods do put on more of the muscle, but later on, you stiff, you be ending up like Ronnie Coleman or something. You know, you can't walk, and you can get stiff, and so it's nice to kind of stay thin. And if you've had the heavier life and you want to keep moving in that direction, you'll want to live long. When we're young, we think if I have the muscles, I'll get some girls and all that stuff. You know, which is whatever. I don't really believe that's true. You want to be a good man, and then you'll have all the women that you want. But you know, if you want to, that's why I just like, it's a strange life to basically live off liquids and then like a salad or a fruit meal at night. But I do like the energy, and I like the thinness. As I get older, you know, I like to be thin because I have more energy, you know, whereas I could have went down the route, and I did. I was a bodybuilder, and it was great. I got up to 200 pounds. I could deadlift a lot, squat a lot. I could never do that much bench. My arms are just too long. And anyway, I broke both my shoulders, so none of that really matters. To me anyways, as you get older, you just want to be like, you want to keep your testicular fortitude, because there's a war on that for men and women. They want to depopulate and deproduce so that your whole organs and everything don't work. And they're doing that with the food, and they're doing that with these other technologies and whatnot that are going around, and the bird flu's coming next. Oh boy, I'm so scared, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this one I always have. I got a bunch of Dr. Morse herbs, and there's a link down below for that too. Brain and nervous system, I always have that one. There's two that I always have, and that is the, must be this one. Yes, these are the two that I always have that have been the best for me, the male reproductive and the brain and nerve. I keep those around. I never run out of those. If I run out, I order more. Just in case of an emergency, can you dig it? And then I'll use the male formula if I want to, you know, get kind of prepared for any kind of special meeting, if you will. But I'm kind of not really out of that game totally, but just taking a break right now, just trying to get myself right with the Lord. Liver and skin, lymphatic system, always important when you're healing yourself of the diseases to use some of these. Here's the super lymph drainer from Dr. Morse, new label, love the new labels. You got the kidneys and bladder, that's important too. The herbs can help break everything up. The parasite formula, which if you have parasites and you take the parasite formula and the herbal blood, adios amigos. Here's the brain detox, the chemical medical detox you give your autistic kid, or if you've been exposed to heavy metals. Endocrine support, which is like if you're getting kind of tired and you're weak and your reproductive organs aren't working, you get the endocrine formula. We all have adrenal burnout. And then here's the parasite microorganisms and the parasite general. And that's the end of the video today, 58:49. Thanks everyone. I'm just trying to do whatever the hell I can to keep this thing going. You know, so I had fun on that video, and I appreciate all of you very much. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, all you hardcore viewers, for all these years of support. It's a much smaller group than it used to be. I lost contact with a lot of people. I hear it all the time. I couldn't find you for years. I'm so glad I found you, because the Life Regenerator channel got taken off. And so I had to go check all my, there's a link right down below this video. Go check out my Rumble and sign up there, my Telegram, all my other social media too. Sign up to that if you're a hardcore, because this ripcord could get pulled any day. Can you dig it? Let's not wish for it, but just the Rumble's gonna be a cool thing. So I gotta get going. There's my client right there. So God bless you. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you. I appreciate you. And make sure you go sign up to all my other social media stuff, because if this ripcord ever gets pulled, I want to be able to stay in contact with you. Your dude, DTM. Going to work. I'm out. Love you.